fear of what might be versus what is. This is a time of year where we all focus on starting new regimes, getting ourselves in shape, but it's also the time of year where a lot of the self-doubt, a lot of the internal fears and stories and narratives that have played in our heads and plagued us for years come to the forefront, because there's a battle going on between us and our mind for so many people. Not everyone, but a lot of people out there. January invokes feelings of, I want to get in shape, but it also invokes feelings of, I'm not good enough, I'm going to repeat the same mistakes as last year, I'm going to feel embarrassed, I'm going to feel shame, guilt, I'm going to go do this as much as I can, but it's never going to be enough. All these conversations that run through our heads and prevent us from ever reaching the goals we're after. And because we don't really talk about it that much, apart from maybe a few close friends, we believe that we're the only ones going through it. We think that no one else can possibly see us any differently than we see ourselves. And how we see ourselves is built upon the conversations that have happened due to the experiences we had from right through childhood right up, where we always seem to find justifications as to why we're not worthy, why we're not good enough, and why we don't deserve to be in shape. But here's the crazy thing for me. Most people that I've met, in fact all people that I've met, have the ability to change their lives. Every single one of us. And you're not defined by your experiences. You can choose to allow your experiences to define you, but you don't have to be defined by them. It's a choice. You can use them as strength, you can use them as lessons, or you can use them as chains to enslave you and hold you back. And so many of us do that. So many of us have this sense of lack of worth within us, that we use these conversations that we have in our own head as validation to not try, to not go again, to not make things different. And we approach things from the same perspective we've always approached them, which ends up getting us the results we've always ended up getting, which then validates more in our own minds that we're not worthy and we can't do it and everyone else is better. And that's a really sad state to be in, because it really takes away your power and it stops you from becoming so much more than you're capable of. And I'm here to tell you that every single one of you, regardless of your shape, size, age, experience, capabilities, has the strength within you to do something differently, to achieve the goal you're after. And I know I'm saying this and it's easy for me to say and all that stuff, but the reality is nearly 2 decades of coaching has shown me that everyone that's ever walked into this gym who's applied themselves has achieved the results they're after. We've just had a new girl start today, this morning, and the way Primal works, we're able to ensure that no matter what your current ability, we can get you involved in the training. All we do is regress the exercises to a level that you understand, a level that you're capable of. And if that means that I have to spend that session with you as like a personal one-to-one, that's what happens. Our goal is to get you into the gym and working with the crew as fast as possible. And that means that I've got to give my time. You're paying me as a coach to ensure you have the knowledge to be equipped with the skills to allow you to progress forward. I've trained guys with one leg, literally. We were able to get him involved in the training program. If we can do that for him, we can do it for you. It just requires you to have the courage and confidence to trust the process and to get out of your own way. And each and every one of you, if you just allow yourself to be a beginner and accept what a beginner is required to do and not internalize it, can progress forward. But if you're constantly telling yourself you're not good enough, if you're constantly finding the proof to keep yourself safe from that story that you're not good enough, well then you're going to hold yourself back. That's where the courage comes in. The courage is from you is required to turn up and to let go. That's it. If you can turn up when you're meant to turn up and let go of the stories that you know are holding you back, then I know that as a coach I can get you to progress forward. The question now is, are you willing to do that? That's where the courage comes in. That's where a lot of people struggle. That's the first battle. That's the internal battle that only you can address. I can help you with that through rational conversations and dipping into evidence of people who are similar to you, my experience and how they changed it, and I can give you lots of advice. But ultimately, it's got to be you that's going through that battle and accept the journey ahead of you. Now, we've got a very, very strong community, supportive community in Primal, of members who turn up, welcome you, empathise with where you're at and how you feel, and will encourage you to keep coming and introduce you and bring you part of the tribe. But it's got to be you to put some skin in the game. And this is where a lot of people struggle. Those internal conversations, it's always the internal conversations and the feelings that hold people back. So the question now is, what are you willing to do? What are you going to do to change your life? What are you willing to change in your life so that your life changes? Because without making those changes, it's going to continue on the same path. The current trajectory you're on is going to be the trajectory you continue on this time next year. Only you'll be further down the line and you'll be more overweight, you'll be less confident, you'll be 1 year older. You'll have more stories to validate and confirm why you shouldn't. And this is the biggest battle we all suffer and we all have to struggle with. All I can do is lessen it, but I can't take it away from you. That's the adult in you. You've got to face that in your own head. You've got to find stories that are holding you back and then change them, rewrite them. Currently you're just reading the same chapter of your book over and over and over again and hoping somehow the chapter changes. The chapter only changes when you rewrite it. That means rubbing out the words that you're familiar with and changing them up to something that's more inspiring for you. Can you do that? Do you need help doing that? If you need help doing that, we can help you do that. But you're going to be the one to rub them out, you're going to be the one to rewrite them. We can just give you ideas of the words you should use or maybe put in, but it's got to be you do it. You've got to have skin in the game. You've got to make peace with that. When you can make peace with that, you're already removing a massive block in your life that's holding you back. You're capable of so much more. We all are. And life shouldn't be about struggle, but unfortunately for a lot of us, it's created by ourselves so that it becomes our reality. But it doesn't have to be that way. Yes, there must be challenge. And yes, you must embrace a certain level of struggle because that struggle will change you. But it doesn't have to be struggle every day. It can change, it will change. The stronger you become, the more confident you become, the more willing you are to embrace difficulty, the more strength you find within yourself. And that strength then carries forward to the next event, to the next event, to the next event. And this is what builds the body, the mind, and the spirit. It's that embracing the struggle and accepting it for what it is, and not allowing it to overcome you. Recognise it, absolutely. Be honest about it. But you don't let it consume you. And you shouldn't feel shame either for finding things difficult. A lot of people are in a similar boat to you. They're worried about judgment, they're worried about failure, because that's all they've experienced for so many years. Self-judgment, meaning they're projecting that self-judgment towards others, thinking that other people are thinking how they think about themselves. And failure, because they frame attempts to succeed that they didn't quite work out the way they wanted as failure. That's the emotion. That's how you create the experience. But the actual experience was just a moment for you to figure out, but you didn't see it that way. Oh, 2 seconds. Just seen something there. Give me 2 seconds. You can still hear me. I just realised the microphone wasn't working there. So I'm hoping you can still hear me. So yeah, framing your conversation, your self-conversations, is one of the biggest components of success. Every single time you turn up to the gym and you give it a go, you've got the opportunity to frame that experience as a success or a failure. It can be a success because you find reasons to make it a success. You turned up, you gave it your best, you did what you could do, you exerted yourself, you put the intention in your mind towards doing the best you can. Or you can look around, everyone's better than you, everyone's judging you, you're the weakest, you're the fattest, you're the most uncoordinated. The experience is the same. You turned up to the gym, you did the work regardless. But how you framed it determines how you feel about it. Determines the emotion that's invoked from it. If I rub my hand, that's a feeling. If I slap my hand, that's a feeling. But rubbing it may invoke emotions or memories of being cared for and loved by your mum or nanny or something as a child. That may invoke feelings of shame and being scolded. But it's just a feeling. It's you attaching the emotion to it that determines the energy that's put into it. So it's the same for the gym. Turning up to the gym is just a feeling. Your body's going to exert itself. But the emotion you attach towards it is going to determine whether you turn up again or not, whether you give it a go again or not, whether you give it 100% or not, whether you find reasons as to validate your story, or you find reasons to change the story. And this is why so many of us succeed and so many of us fail. It's all down to how you frame it. You shouldn't feel embarrassed about doing what you can do to ensure that the results you get push your life forward. You shouldn't worry about what other people think. Unfortunately, we do. Unfortunately, this is something that plagues all of us every day. Even the most confident man and woman you can look at have moments of self-doubt. The difference is they acknowledge it as self-doubt, but then continue going forward anyway, regardless, because they know that even those conversations they're having are just their mind playing tricks on them, and that they don't need to listen to them. They can choose to focus on another voice, a voice that's going to tell them, keep going. I can promise you 100%, if I am coaching you, whether it be in person or whether it be online, if we're actually in a coaching capacity, what I can do for you is help you move forward through the dialogue we have, showing you the exercises, giving you the program, and then challenging you as to when you're not doing it or how you're not doing it properly or what you're doing right, where you can improve. All those conversations we have are going to help you strive for better. It's going to help you steer yourself towards a place where you're going to be happy. And that's ultimately what we're all after. We're all after feeling content within ourselves. This feeling of pride within ourselves that we're good enough. That's a very, very important thing to recognise. That's what we're all after. You're after it, I'm after it. Our definitions of happiness may be different. Our definition of contentment may be different. For me, playing these sound bowls or carving wood is contentment. I could play these all day, I could meditate, I could carve my wood all day and be so content in myself. Doing something for you, what makes you happy, is what's most important. And if your body is operating at a higher level than it is now, it is natural that you're going to feel better about yourself. You'll naturally feel more confident, you'll naturally feel stronger, you'll naturally feel like you can achieve more. And when you can get a taste of that, it becomes addictive. It becomes you want more of it. Slowly but surely, you start to see you've got more potential than you give yourself permission to believe. And when you start seeing that potential, and you start recognising your true abilities and where your capabilities lie, you start organically focusing on that. And you, in that mind of yours, you're creating tangible evidence that you're better than you think you are. That if you just get it your own way, you'll be able to achieve so much more. And this is why I love the gym. For people, I think the gym is such a great place to show yourself what you're capable of, because it presents you with so many opportunities, so many chances to prove your mind is lying to yourself, and that the story that you've told yourself that's held you back is just a comfortable story to keep you stuck, because that's what your nervous system wants, because your subconscious mind does not want you to change. Your nervous system programming has been developed to keep you safe. So everything you've done from childhood has been determined by a nervous system to keep you safe. And if playing it small, or staying overweight, or staying in the shadows is keeping you safe, well then the nervous system and the subconscious mind is going to continue creating those stories to facilitate that, because that's what it thinks. That's what you've fed it. It's, you know that story, the Indian story about everyone's got two wolves, one good and one bad, and whatever one grows is because it's the one that you feed. That's true for us all. Do you know, no one's ever died from a snake bite. No one. When you're bitten by a snake, you're bitten. The most deadly snake in the world, the snake bite doesn't kill you. You can't be unbitten. What kills you is the venom that pulses through your veins, that runs through your body, and that's what kills you. So it's not going to the gym is the problem. It's the story that you tell yourself that runs through your veins. The narrative that's poisoning you. That's what's preventing you from success. That's what's keeping you back from achieving the goals you so desperately want. You can choose to do something or not do something, but it's still a choice. Doing nothing is still a choice. It's just a more comfortable choice. It's a more familiar choice. It's an easily rationalized choice. It's the default choice. It's the one that when the conscious mind decides, I want to change, the subconscious mind is going to go straight into, but what if? You're not, you can't, you shouldn't. Just say this happens. And we focus on that. And it ruminates in our brain and our mind over and over and over and over again, spreading like that venom. We're feeding that bad wolf. And it's growing in strength. And there comes a point you must starve it. You must choose to feed the other wolf. And that's something that every single one of us is capable of doing. We just make the choice to do it differently. We understand. We sit with those fears. We bring our awareness to those fears, and yet you question the fears, because when you repeat the fears, you're making a statement. You're feeding it strength. When you ask a question, you're interrupting that thought pattern. Why am I thinking like that? That changes the course of the thoughts. No longer are you making a statement. You're opening up your mind to a different inquiry, to a different outcome, a potential outcome. If you say, I'm not good enough, you're reinforcing it. If you say, why do I think I'm not good enough? You course correct, you change the direction of thought. Now you're opening up your mind to, well, why do I think this? What is it in my mind that is holding me back? And in the beginning, what's going to happen is you're going to come back to the validating stories. But every time you come back to a validating story, you just go back to the question, why do I think that? Is that true? Who would I be without that thought? Because you know who you are with the thought. You know what you get with that thought. More of the same. So, who would you be without that thought? Who would you be if you let go of the thought of, I'm not good enough, I can't do the gym, I'll never succeed? You'd be someone who would turn up to the gym. You'd be someone that would lift the weights. You'd be someone that would respect your body more and feed it the fuel required to push you towards the goal you're after. You'd be someone that over time would get stronger, would get leaner, would become more mobile, would become more confident. That's who you would be without those thoughts. So now that opens up the question, why am I thinking those thoughts? Where do those thoughts originate? What is it within me that continually wants the same outcome? What part of me is not willing to explore? Where is this protection within me? Because it's all about protection. It's literally your body doing its job. But then we validate it, we create the conversation as to why it is. It's us. It's always us. I always explain the nervous system to people as a puppy. If I've got a wee timid puppy in the corner and I scream at it, come here, it's going to run and car away, it's going to be terrified. But if I slowly talk to it, give it a wee bit of food, wee bit of tender love, care, TLC, stroke it, eventually it becomes to trust me. And I'll be able to train it, and it will work with me, and it will do the things I ask of it. That's the nervous system. That's your subconscious mind. You're just trying to beast it because that's what Instagram has told us training is. It's CrossFit, it's high rocks, it's about push yourself to failure. It's about lying down in a pool of vomit and sweat and being high five for your effort. No, it's not. That's not what training's at all. Training is about improving you. Training is about you progressively improving your life, improving your body, improving your mindset, going from self-doubt to looking in the mirror and feeling confident, going from always berating yourself to discovering that you're now talking to yourself in a more confident, loving way. That's the opportunity exercise offers us all. Exercise offers us the chance and the opportunity to confront those conversations that have held us back and to present it with actual tangible evidence that you were wrong and that it's in your best interests to change it. But it doesn't happen overnight. Though one day you just wake up and you realise you've changed. It happens over a period of months and years. It never ends. It's not like one day you get in shape and all of a sudden your life changes and everything's perfect. Life doesn't work like that. Life's a spiral. It will continue circular, going round and round, meeting the same sort of point, different experience, same energy, more intense energy. You'll overcome that, you'll have that tangible proof, and then you'll circle around again and bang, you'll meet something else. And it's that constant growth that allows you to get stronger, both physically, mentally, and emotionally. And it's available to us all. You don't have to compare yourself to everyone else, think, they can because I can't because. You can change that conversation. They can because so can I. Because if you can find anyone who changed their lives from fat to fit, from unconfident to confident, from broke to rich, if they did it, so can you. And you can hear these stories about, I just dug in deep, and it's all this bravado stuff. Do you know most of it? Most people do it through support. We're tribal by nature. We thrive in communities. Networks of support. That's where we all grow the fastest and the easiest. And that's what we have really cultivated in Primal when we excel at. That supportive network, that community where everyone wants to see everyone else grow and succeed, and we cheer each other on, and we celebrate each other's wins, and we're happy to see each other. And that's what keeps people coming back 10 years down the line. Most of the members here could train themselves, could go to a gym and do it themselves, but they don't want to. Because for them, part of the training experience is being around these people, is being around your friends, because that's what they've become. We started out as members, but we become actual close friends where we go out outside of the gym and we socialise, and people have created relationships with each other that transcend gym. Because we see commonalities, and through that shared struggle, you create bonds. You know, you always hear about soldiers, you know, in the trenches and how they die for each other. And if you ever fought, you understand that the comradeship of like teammates when you're sparring, you're fighting, you're sharing an experience that's very unique. Two men in the cage. Usually at the end of it, there's respect for each other. Mr. Conor McGregor. because you've had a shared experience where you've left it all in that ring or that cage, and there's a mutual respect whether you win or lose because they had the courage to stand up and face you. And that shared experience creates a bond. And that's something that's been forgotten about. Fitness isn't about just going alone. That's why most people in pure gyms and those global gyms don't get the shape they want. Because they don't really have that shared experience. They don't really have that community of support. And that's primal to each one of us. It's innate in every one of us that you want to belong somewhere. And when you feel like you belong somewhere, there's less fear of turning up there time and time again. And that's what the members keep saying. They just love this place because they just feel they're part of something bigger than themselves. And that's that drive forward. And that's what I've cultivated and we've created in this gym through all the members. We've all created this together. And it's available to everyone who wants to train here. There's no judgment. There's no comparisons. There's just encouragement, joking and slagging and banter with each other. And feeding off each other's successes. When you can feed off each other's successes and you can be happy for someone achieving something that you haven't yet achieved, it changes your outlook, it changes your prerogative of what training is. We have this conversation in the gym all the time. It's like, what is it that makes Primal so different to other gyms? I ask this to all the members, and we can't really put our foot on it or finger on it. We just don't know what it is. But we all say the same thing, that we've tried so many other gyms and it's never worked. This is the only gym that I've ever stuck to. I just love the way you get this PT quality coaching in a group setting. It makes it more affordable. I know that my questions are going to be answered and I'm going to be given direction that allows me to get closer to it. I want to turn up. That's what someone said to me last night. Mike said to me last night, I want to turn up. So it doesn't matter what level you're at. It doesn't matter how good or bad you think you are. If you're wanting to change, if you're wanting to improve yourself, we can absolutely help you. We cover all the bases. I think we're must be the only gym in the country that covers all the bases. Physical, mental, emotional. We do meditation, we do sound baths, we do kettlebells, barbells, body weight. Do MMA, but MMA for old men. Not like MMA ego stuff. Just again, a group of old men who literally tap themselves out. They're so broken. Just enjoying learning new skills. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then why not give us a try? 6-week trial, 170 quid. Get you up to 30 sessions of coached group training. If you've never lifted a kettlebell before, by the end of it, you'll be mastering the basics. Happens every time. I'm not good a coach. I know where my worth is, and I know where my skill set lies. I get the average man and woman, the everyday mum and dad, moving more weight than they ever believed possible, moving their bodies freer than they ever believed they could. It's not a miracle, it's a system. It's a process that I've created over 20 years that I know works, and I've got so much evidence to back it up. Everyone that stuck by me gets there in the end because they're putting the effort in. So if it's something you're interested in, folks, let me know. We've opened their doors again. We're willing to take us on. Get involved. See you all tomorrow.